3-1 or 4-0, or possibly 3-0. Could see a draw here.
Yeah, we've had a couple this season, which I think already more than the other seasons combined.
Have we seen
don't look up those stats.
Have we seen a first hold on Horizon Lunar Colony this season? It's not something that really we see too much anymore.
No, it's pretty rare these days. It's quite easy to pull the defending team out of position. Order going for a quick hold here. Very similar to what they did on Nambani, just holding around the side. You see Yuki using that third-person view, holding his shield up to determine where they are, and they're just going to go straight in.
Drop down for Order. Quats is going to charge in as well against Kanga Esports. Just going to be shoved out the moon door, and into gravity we go. There is no sound here, so I guess you guys can't really hear us right now.
Yeah, I think our mouths are moving, but you can't hear us. That's no. If the camera was on it, I might try it, but no. All right, they have managed to get through there, losing only one player for the defense. So they're going to just try and hold off a little bit, wait for him to come back. We do see the Moira very prevalent here on Horizon for those biotic orbs, which just do a great amount of healing when funneled through the entire team.
He's ticking up to 72%. Nice Earth Shadow though from Quats. He's also going to charge Swilko. No, sorry, Sadboy off of the point. Swilko's there as well, getting a lot of heals up. Sadboy's low once again. Now going to lose the mech entirely. The rally wants popped as well by Render. Davey low, lost with the Graviton Surge possibility here for Kanga Esports, but Order is sort of holding them at bay. Cantus though with the double. Quats charging through, will get it to stick as well though. Charge back is going to come from Davey, who now has the Earth Shadow available. Quats though just captures Sadboy before he gets in behind the shield. Order, as you mentioned, Genome, turning this one around. It's all been thanks to Quats.
Oh my, what a shatter. And just the way they rallied behind his shield, as you said, I think you definitely need to give him some credit there. Merit, I'm not sure if he got his Transcendence up just a little bit too late. You saw him pop it just after some of the Order members had gone down, and at that point, it was really Kanga's point to win, but they can't close it out. They can't deal with Quats. They just didn't respect him enough. They were, looking at someone else when that shatter came down from the side. You've always got to be wary of that Rhine. He can just put so many people in the ground.
Order still got to be wary though. Kanga Esports are going to be coming back with 3 ultimates up. In fact, make it 4. Wilco's going to have his sound barrier as well. Earth Shadow with the rally and the Graviton Surge in the back pocket, available for use for Kanga Esports. Unta with a sound barrier of his own is the only ultimate that Order is going to have here inside of this fight. Quats with an Earth Shatter. As we're going to see Davey close them both out. Quats is just on top. The sound barrier as well from Unta. Lush eliminated before he could even use the Graviton Surge for that Kanga Esports also desperately needed. Quats back now towards the Brigitte hole. Fire strike to the face of Render, and Order still holding firm here on Horizon Lunar Colony first point.
Quats with so much faith in his teammates there. You see him just drop the shield and go for broke with that hammer. He knows they're going to keep him alive, and this is why he's so damn good at poker ZeNox. You see him just reading the other Rhine. He blocks most of the shadow, or at least enough to keep himself up, and then lays Kanga on the ground.
Well, Order started that last fight initially with just one ultimate. That was the sound barrier. They'll do so again here, but this time it will be the Transcendence. Quat's already back up to 90% on his Earth Shatter here, but so is Davey. Now that Graviton Surge from Lush, who didn't get to use it in that last fight, needs to get it off here. He cannot allow to go down again, and he's going to throw it out along with the self-destruct from Sandman as well, pinned up onto the wall, but the shield from Quats is going to block him with the majority of the damage there. Earth Shatter from Davey now after the initial charge onto Yuki, which got the execution. Quats used his own Earth Shatter in that fight as well, with Jordan Ancient having the Graviton Surge. He doesn't even need to use it here. The cleaning house and Kanga Esports are being evicted.
Now they're staggering the Diva. That's one patron they don't want to leave quite just yet, but big props to Unta. If you saw that right at the edge there, he actually booped Davey up mid-shatter, rendering it pretty much useless. And now with 5 seconds left to go, they're trying to get to the point.
Oh
but Wilco is grabbed in mid-air.
Huge grab, as you said, keeps not only Swilko, but Davey in mid-air. Talk about a stopper.
You want to ask me that question you asked at the start of the map against ZeNox?
So the question I asked, has a team been fully held on Horizon Lunar Colony this season? We've got our answer.
Well, if they hadn't before, they have now. A huge effort there by Order. And honestly, the comeback there, that first fight really, where Quats came from behind and pulled that shatter out was just
around
incredible.
The 2-minute mark. Looked like Kanga Esports were going to take it. They got up to 88.6%. As you said then, Quats turned it around, Genome.
as I said, you just can't. You've got to keep eyes.
You think he's got 7
the
twos,
Reinhardt,
then
right?
he's got pocket aces. We're going to continue with the poker analogies here for Quartz, and Order, of course, now need to attack themselves here. What would be the chances, though, of them not being able to take the first checkpoint? That would be pretty low here.
It'd have to be better than Darksided holding out for, was it 7 minutes?
7 minutes. Wow, that was, yeah.
On Horizon first. It's doable. I think was that in Torb meta? It was a while ago. There's probably a Junkrat involved.
Probably. Definitely no goats.
Yeah, no. Back before the days of the Shield Bash. Changed everything. Changed the world.
Well, there's a
actually changed even more than the world. We're not even on Earth right now.
Kanga Esports. What do they do here? Looks as if like they're going to have to change it up. They're not going goats. They're going sort of the old standard defense. Well,
it's a big bunker composition, ZeNox. We've got Mercy and the Ana, so only 2 healers. They want a lot of damage. You see Render, he's got the mine and the Junkrat trap ready to go here. Reads they're coming from the left side and changes it up a little bit. A lot of them are going to take damage coming through here, but if they can't confirm a kill with all that shield, with the D.Va defense matrix here, it's going to be tough. But they've got the damage boost.
But that's the problem, though, with going up against goats more than anything, is that you can get this damage off, but it's hard to get the kills through 3 healers and 3 tanks. They do take down Yuki, though.
Nice.
By the trap of all things. Render being forced back here by Quartz. Quartz is very low.
How did he... I mean, he doesn't stay alive eventually.
Yeah, Kanga are getting the kills here. They're getting the job done. Adam at the...
Adam's going to fall off the map very slowly.
Kansas did get the revive into Render as well, so he doesn't even have to run back. So a good start for Kanga Esports. But what I was sort of touching on, Gino, was the fact that you can get all of that damage, but it's so easy to heal it back up. It also charges duration.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a very good point. There's definitely some benefits that Order can get out of this unless they just switch off onto the Sombra, which also, to be fair, is good. It eliminates the turret, a Tracer, because for the first time, Yuki's just rubbing his hands together. He's like, oh my god, there's not a Brigida on the other team. I can actually play Tracer again. He's like, I don't care what you guys say. I'm doing it. I'm doing the Tracer.
Are we about to get our Macca's play right here from Yuki? We've seen it time and time again.
But they really, they determined that Render was a big win condition here for Kanga Esports. And you saw Quartz just absolutely tunnel vision him. And managed to get him down, but paid with his own life. Let's see if he can do better this time on the Winston.
Yeah, well, we know what Quartz is like on a Winston, although there's going to be a tire in his face. It explodes as well, so 6 versus 5 for Kanga. An early tie for Render. He anticipated that to happen, didn't he?
Yeah, it looks like they knew what was going to befall them there. Davey asleep up the top. He doesn't care. He's still behind. But who else is behind? It's Yuki lurking in the back lines. Only 30% now. Doesn't have a pulse bomb. Can't quite take down the Orisa just yet. You got to remember, these days, the pulse bomb doesn't do so much either. So it's not as easy to burst down the tanks with it. I suppose that's the other big change. Valkyrie ready to go now from Cantus. He's a prolific Mercy user.
Minute 40 seconds remaining. Surely we aren't going to have the double full hold here onto Horizon Looted Colony. Duration spotting Yuki, but Yuki not spotting him, of course. He's also now just trying to capture the point. He's going to basically just try and pull back a couple of members of Kanga Esports and allow Order to go up, and Quartz goes down again. An early pick. Yuki, he's not really going to get much with his recall. Doesn't go really far away. He stays under the point, now taking a lot of damage.
With
no
the turret.
recall. It's on cooldown as well, and Adam is extremely low. Order feel like they're playing with their food, and the food's fighting back.
Well, they're really having trouble with that turret at the moment. There we go. You see him replacing it now. You don't even have to repair it sometimes if you don't want to. He's got the Molten Core ready. Of course, this is the one. He's hacked. He can't use it. He can't spray lava everywhere. He wants to deny the point to them, but he's gone down.
Oh, no. Order, though, pick up 2. Dave here, Lush. They're sort of win conditions here with their ultimates available. No Supercharger, no Molten Core. Render does have the Riptire available. We're up to 55.5%. Render can't really find anything that he needed to get onto it. The sound barrier as well. And Order, well, I mentioned they played with their food. The food fought back, but the humans win in the end, of the food gonna lose again. 3-0 now in favor of Order. They take out Horizon Lunar Colony. No double first point hold.
No, and that's going to be the series, ZeNox.
Yeah, they've won it.
3-0. There's still one map to be played. Of course, we will still head to our 4th map on Escort. I'm guessing... Oh, actually, they've had a bit of a split in the past. Maybe Route 66. We've seen some funky stuff go on there recently. Though they do like playing those bunker compositions, and they do work a little bit better on Dorado.
Certainly do, but as you mentioned, series is over, 3-0. Maybe an opportunity for Kanga Esports to try something a bit different. Yeah. Possibly. Almost like a scrim in a way for them to just try and see, okay, we're in a situation where we can't win the series. Whilst it would be nice to go and get the map win. If we can maybe try something else out and see how it goes, that could also be worth trying to attempt.
Yeah, I mean, people always say in scrims that you can't get the full value out of it, right? That, you know, usually teams aren't giving it their 100%. No. There's there's some fun going on in the comms. They're not trying as hard as they can. So getting these opportunities in officials where you've got to really try things out when the other team's playing as hard as they can is quite important to make sure you make the most of those. So Kanga, even though this is going to be their 3rd loss of the season, there's still more to play for.
Yeah, there certainly is. I mean, you always also want to play for pride in a way. You're representing your organization. You want to do your best every single map, especially here in Contenders. And even though the series has been won now for Order, they've taken it. It's 3-0. Whether it's going to be 3-1 or 3-0 or 4-0, they've won it. But it's up to Kanga now to show that what they're made of, in a sense that they're not going to just roll over, they're not going to make this a quick 4-0 for Order, and that they are going to give it their all, or at least try something different that they don't have an opportunity to try in a series where everything's still on the line.
Yeah, I mean, they get a bit of props for, you know, holding their heads high after their control map, and they did okay there on the defense, managed to hold them off a couple of times with a bit of an interesting composition there, but it's not enough in the end. Order just too strong, looking pretty tight as a unit here today, and we are going to go to Dorado next. So plenty of opportunities for Kanga to throw out some fun stuff here. We've seen, I think it was Render, you know, enjoying the Farah before. If we get onto that 2nd point in Dorado, sometimes even the 1st, we can see that as well.
You did mention could either be Dorado or Route 66, possibly for Dorado. Want to just try it out?
Yeah, we haven't seen quite as much of Dorado, I don't think, so far this season. Could be a little bit different elsewhere around the world. There do seem to be slight differences, you know, going from region to region. So, as we head in, 3-0 for Order. They take out the series, but one more map to go to finish off the map set and see whether or not Kanga Esports can still come away with a map after all, which, ironically, if they did here make it 3-1. It would be basically how we sort of predicted it, although I did say Order would win 4-0 at the beginning of the day. Yeah, that was definitely my feeling as well. Kanga, however, they've never lost a series 4-0 so far.
Wow, yeah, you're right.
They managed to draw, they managed a map win, so yeah. Maybe that's a record, maybe that's something they can aim for, keep going. Let's see, Order not giving any quarter here. Another very close hold. They really seem to like these. They seem to favor them on the goats. You've
got to remember as well, this is almost like a statement game from Order as well, trying to bounce back from their loss last week against Heist. So this is really what they wanted to achieve. 4-0 against Kanga Esports in quick fashion. There've been some slight glimpses of hope for Kanga throughout this map set, but for the most part, Order's been in control, and it looks as if that's going to continue here on Dorado. Yeah,
Geordie just being so aggressive. You see Quats Low himself actually having to push in front and put up the shield because he's worried for his friend's safety here. Luckily, they do all get home in time. But will they get put to bed by Kangas? I think it's unlikely here, but they're going to do their best.
Yeah, as you said, they're going to do their best. Transcendence is going to come out.
Doesn't allow them to be very aggressive. They actually get split up using that Transcendence, and Kanga not getting the value out of that they might have liked. However, with this Winston, they can do a lot of cleave damage.
Yuki does go down though, so if they do wait and be patient, get Davey back. The second that Davey comes back, I think just push him with the sound barrier.
Yeah, you can really use that to be aggressive here if you want. you know, Swilko's got that in his pocket if they need to use it. Perhaps, if, as you said, if they just want to use it.
Wow, no, they're actually going to allow Order to sort of initiate the fight here with Quats' Earth Shatter. Graviton Surge from Jordation along with the Self-Destruct. Nothing really connecting, though, from all three of the ultimates used by Order. Now throwing out the Sound Barrier from Hunter. Swilko did use the Sound Barrier of his own there. Now the Self-Destruct available for Sad Boy as Transcendence is going to be popped. There goes the long-range Self-Destruct from Sad Boy, but it's an easy stop with the shield from Quats. Now Davey goes down. Yuki's arrived. He's come back from spawn like a magician. And Order are going to tank the fight. After everything Kanga threw at them, nothing stuck.
Oh, man, they really threw it all there. We saw Lush. He got a good Graviton Surge out there. Quite a few of the Order members stuck in it, but they just can't get the follow-up. We see Render try and go in on that Brigitte. If you're hitting everyone with the Rocket Flail, you can do quite a bit of damage, but the support ultimates for Order were just there and ready.
Rally coming out for Kanga to rally the troops towards Order to try and start this fight. It's going to work. At least a great move from Swilko onto Jordation. They didn't lose Cantus, but he's going to come back relatively quickly, and the payload is moving for Kanga Esports. So it's starting to happen. It's starting to come together for them here with that initial push with the rally from Kanga. Payload's being contested, though, but this is just time being wasted. It is going to move a little bit.
So, of course, the big difference there in that fight was that Order tried to play it a little bit too close to the coast, and they pay the price. Swilko really, you know, making the most of that and using his sound wave to boop a couple of people off the edge. It's a bit hard for them to do anything from that point, so they will recontest here just before the first point ends. And they've got a self-destruct to try and make something happen.
Sound barrier for Swilko available for Kanga Esports. 38 more seconds, and they do need to push this payload 1.25 meters away. There is the sound barrier from Swilko, not fast enough to catch Davey, though, to help him out. It is a 1-for-1 trade for the main tanks of both Order and Kanga Esports. Swilko will fall along with Render, so now Order, who have got this advantage. Sad Boy just going to shift over to the wall and get away. Cantus, well, corralled, smashed, and eliminated. And Order stopped Kanga in their tracks, 1 meter short of the first checkpoint. 10 more seconds. Kanga should be able to get onto this point, though.
They do. I feel like they've got time. The Winston is within range with the leap. He does manage to get on within that final 2 seconds, which is how you proc the overtime. Unfortunately, he goes down immediately, and Sad Boy, unless this D.Va ultimate does an amazing job.
Is this going to be the D.Va ultimate? No, it only gets Yuki. Needed more than that. Sound barrier from Onta keeps up a lot of order here. They've still got 5 alive. No other ult's going to be coming anytime soon for Kanga Esports. The closest, 77% for the Primal Rage of Davey. Sad Boy's mech's going to be popped now into pilot mode, channeling his inner Oily to see if he can click some heads and help out Kanga Esports. Does spot Merit around the back, tries to get a flank onto him. Hunter actually just going to fall right into the arms of Lush. And finally, Kanga Esports do push through by sheer will. They get the first point here on Dorado. They're not done yet.
Big effort there after losing their main tank, who had to go in to make that final push and get the payload at least contested as time runs out. They somehow managed to get in off the back of it. Now Order are going to go on the high ground here, which you know, is a good choice considering Davey is able to contest that anytime he pleases. Quats, however, it's a bit more binary. He's either up or he's down.
So 2 minutes is the time bank here for Kanga Esports. Now to push through the streets phase of Dorado. Lush is going to open up the first fight here in the streets phase with the kill onto Yuki, which is seeming to be the case here so far in Dorado. They seem to be targeting Yuki as the support to take down due to how much influence Yuki can have on the fight as the Brigades are. And Kanga Esports is continuing to snowball some of these kills now. They seem to, for the first time in this series, have a bit of momentum ever since initially on Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, it's interesting that Yuki's going down
a bit
earlier in these fights.
Going away.
Yeah. It's not quite gone yet. Jordation, sure, he's there, and he's got the grab being used by Lush is sucked a couple in, but it looks like, wow, good use of the shield there from Quats, making sure he's turning it this way and then that to block any kind of harm coming to his team.
Yeah, well, although I must say, Lush and Davey sort of do the same thing there in blocking off that self-destruct, but they couldn't block off the Earth Shatter from Quats. Sound barrier used by Hunter. They might as well commit to this order because it's only 55 more seconds left on the timer. And Kanga Esports, though, they do take out Quats. Adam's mech's going to be popped as well, somehow pushing back Order, with even Order throwing every single ultimate that they had into that fight. Adam in pilot mode, just hanging around near the payload, but it's Kanga Esports cleaning up now onto the last one alive. Yuki will come in as well. Kanga can push through once again with 35 more seconds. There should still be one more fight, though, in the next checkpoint.
Well done to hold out on that one, Kanga. I mean, we're just seeing some overextensions. I think just slight overextensions at the end of these fights. It feels like Kanga and Order both have been guilty of it. They get a little bit of an advantage. They push too far forward, and then the respawns, by the time they come in, are enough to swing the pendulum back in the favor of the other team. Now with Lush pushing forward, he's got that 500 health, the armor on top of the shield. He is going to try and get his Graviton Surge up. It's going to be hard to do it before Geordie, though. Ultimate
Economy in favor of Kanga Esports. They're going to open up the Primal Rage Transcendence as well. Jordation will have a Graviton Surge. 1.93 meters here as the overtime bar is going to show itself now. The Earth Shatter from Quartz. It was sneaky. It got Scorko and Lush. The Sad Boy is going to be able to pick up the double kill with his self-destruct onto Unta and Jordation. Kanga Esports, they've left it to the last map. They've left it till they're 3-0 down, but now they're starting to get into the groove and get some momentum here on Dorado.
Oh, you cannot underplay that self-destruct. So many Kanga Esports members were actually earth-shattered. They were stunned. They were immobile during that period, and if Order hadn't have taken the kills of that self-destruct, they probably would have got cleaned up very easily there. So we do make it onto a third point after it looked like they might not even get one. This has been a bit of a Cinderella run here from Kanga Esports, who are on their last legs in this series.
Sound barrier going to start out from Onto. Swilko will immediately follow up with his own sound barrier. Quats goes down first. Advantage now, Kanga Esports here onto the attack. Don't be confused. Order just seem to have positioned themselves sort of behind the payload. It's almost as if they were attacking, and, well, they're not going to attack anything when they're all dead. It's going to be another team kill, essentially, in favor of Kanga Esports. They've only got 35 more seconds, though, Gino, to come around the bend and try and get all 3 checkpoints here on Dorado.
Well, they've done the other 2 in overtime, it feels like. So with such little time left, ZeNox, why not get a third? Lush once again is starting this fight in a much better position than Jordation is. He's got that grab ready to go, beating him to this second one by about 50%. The self-destruct allows them to move forward, and Order, all of a sudden, are looking pretty good here.
Yeah, they think they've got the job done now with Render and Davey both going down. They popped their ults, the rally had been used, the Graviton Surge from Lush, Earthshatter now from Quartz, and they're just picking up kill one by one by one. With Cantus and Lush going down, it looks as if we've got the 70.60 meter as the resting place for the payload here of Kanga Esports. Their run comes to an end here. Now they're going to have to defend and see whether or not they can stop Order if they're going to pick up the map win here on Dorado.
Honestly, that's a phenomenal push for the... if you take the point in time where they've got a Winston jumping in by himself with 2 seconds left.
On the first point.
On the first point, that is a fantastic place for the cart to meet its final rest. So now going on to the defense, what are we going to see? Are they going to bring us out something a little bit special here? Try something a bit odd like we saw on Horizon, or are they going to stick to the tried and true?
Well, I think they've got the opportunity to win this map. It's not a massive opportunity. It's not as if they've got like a 2-minute time bank and got all 3 checkpoints, but they did get it towards, at the very least, the final stage here on Dorado. And we'll probably see a stock standard sort of GOATS composition, try their best to defend and deal with Order. And I think Order may just look to do the same thing as well here to try and push through the early stage here on Dorado.
Well, they've given themselves a win condition at the very least, ZeNox. I mean, Order's close hold there at the start was looking dire for Kanga, but they've got everything to play for now. Well, not everything to play for, not quite the series.
No.
They've got a map to play for.
They got a map to play for. They got pride to play for as well. That's one thing.
And too far into the hyperbole.
Obviously, for Order, they don't necessarily have too much to play for. But I guess the actual map point, if there's any tiebreaker situation,
I mean, honestly, the map is probably a lot more important for Order than it is for Kanga.
Most definitely, with the way Heist and Mavericks have sort of taken that top 1 and 2 spot at the moment. Order may need the tiebreaker in their favor, so this is pretty big for them in a sense, as you said. Probably more important for Order than it is for Kanga.
Okay, so Kanga going the dive defense rather than the Reinhardt. This means they're not holding close on the ground, but they are still going to hold close nonetheless. They use the rooftops to their advantage, but Davey, unfortunately, falls down before Order have really used too many of their abilities, and a quick shield bash by the Brigader is enough to lock him into place, and that 500 health evaporates immediately. That was faster than faster than the rains in Australia during an El Nino.
Yep. Well, I don't even know what that is, but thank you.
I'm sure all the Nope. No. I'm not getting that word out. No, I'm trying. This
is why you don't...
Meteorology.
You got it in the end.
Those nerds, they'll get it, okay?
Don't test your limits on broadcast, okay? Calm down.
That's what we're here for. That's what the players are doing, ZeNox. We can only try and help them out with that too.
Well, like Kanga Esports is coming back here, just trying to deny the first checkpoint from Order, and it's Lush picking up a couple of the kills as well. Adam Lowe now going to be demacked as well altogether. Lush has just come in like the aggressive Zarya that he is, forcing out the Transcendence from Merit. Now actually going to go for the grabs and search with the self-destruct. Order are going to be stopped dead in their tracks. 0.74 meters, 2.5 minutes, and Kanga Esports not done yet.
So close, but not close enough. 2 minutes and 30 seconds means Quartz has got plenty of time here to build up that next Earth Shatter, and I mean, he's been doing just fine against the Reinhardts. Who's to say that a Winston is going to be any better at stopping him get 3, 4, 5, 6 people on the ground with that ultimate?
2 minutes and 10 seconds. Short Ocean's going to have to grab it to surge along with the self-destruct combination with Adam, but Yuki goes down. So again, nice start for Kanga Esports, and I sense Order are just going to fall back here. No sense trying to push through this choke point with just 5 players.
No, Yuki once again, as we've noted a couple of times. Wow, that was a fancy little boost there from Jordation getting up to the top. I like it. I didn't even know you could get on top of that sign. Well, he's just trying to show off. He's not actually he's doing it for, using it for a little bit of scouting. And now Yuki's back and joined. They will get in there, but look, they are just getting bullied by Davey here on the Primal Rage, but they take the beating.
Yeah, they take him back, and they take all of that damage, send it right back into Davey. The Gravitson surge now from Jordation. It's clean-up crew time for Order. Kanga Esports, though, whilst they're not going to be able to stop this first checkpoint being captured, they at least get the time down to about 1 minute 20 seconds before it is.
Now, I guess the other thing to note here is that Swilko is playing the Ana, so we don't have the Lucio here. Kanga don't have, need of the speed boost as much when you've got a Winston who can dive in with your D.Va. However, it feels like a lot of the utility is not being used. We haven't seen any big anti-nays, which of course is a huge deal when you've got 3 healers on the other team. That's eliminating a huge source of their, that's how they win, right? They really need to be healing up at all times, but we need an Ananay to come through, and you can't do that if you're going down that early.
No, you definitely can't render as well. It's going to force Order, just getting that momentum back now. Quartz will finish off Kansas as well with a bit of help from Adam. It's a team kill, basically. No chance for Kanga Esports here to get back towards the pay lane. Pretty quick, pretty easy. 3 minutes until the second checkpoint if they don't get there in time. It will go to Kanga Esports, but they're not very far away here at all, Gino.
No, if we had, the swimming vision where you can see where people are up to in the pool chasing the other ones, Kanga would be behind at this point. Order have definitely got to the end of this second point quicker than Kanga did. The self-destruct comes out, but Quartz is more than ready for it.
Now, Yuki, interesting there, had to turn his own shield away to try and save himself from the self-destruct, but it opened up to Swilko, so he does get the kill there. Duration holding on to the Gravitson Surge, and so is Adam with the self-destruct. They haven't used it just yet. They haven't needed to use it at all. Render did use the rally here for Kanga Esports. Max going to be popped. I wonder if Adam may force out the self-destruct. Probably not. May just hold it. No, he actually did force it out. With his mech being popped, he went for it. Hunter's going to pop the sound barrier as well. So Order really just want to get this second checkpoint. You don't really want to have to run back all the way from the first checkpoint to this end of second checkpoint. It's a long walk back, and it also means that the defensive team can set up a bit easier here. Regardless, Order are going to take it.
Nice job there, and some nice little mechanics there from supports from both sides. We actually saw Cantus blocking the charge while being transcended. Of course, that's something that Zenyatta players have got very good at during this meta, because of course you can't take damage while in that invulnerable state. Also, Unta using the top of that van to get his sound barrier down early. If you jump up the top, your jump back to the earth is cut short. So he makes sure his team is getting that sound barrier as fast as possible. And with one person on the payload, they're trying to get it all the way to the end here. A very early fight here, going right into the spawn.
Yeah, started off with the rally. Yuki then picked up the kill onto Swilko. Now the Earth Shatter as well. Nice block from Quartz to deny the self-destruct with the Graviton Surge combo for Kanga Esports. That almost feels like that was their last hope, their last roll of the dice, their last chance to possibly take out Dorado and pick up a map win. 2.5 minutes, but as you said, 4 meters away, and there it is. Order Army will take out the win here for this series, 4-0 versus Kanga Esports.
he can't even touch the card at the end. Just too many bodies in front of him at all times. Feels like Order being in control of the fights here.
It's almost a little bit unfortunate for Kanga Esports. They had a couple of moments where, especially so far on Zhangtao, that was their opportunity to pick up a map win. In saying that, though, you're going to have these sort of series where it goes the way for one team, and Order was always the team we predicted would win 4-0.
Yeah, you know, it reminds me of something a lot of Australians have probably experienced. You know, you're out there on the road at night, perhaps in the outback, and you're trying to drive somewhere. All of a sudden, the kangaroo just comes out of nowhere and smash! The car grabs them, and the poor things are out of action. That's what it felt like here. Kanga just being completely blindsided.
When has that ever happened to you?
It legitimately has happened to me. I heard it happen to one of the trucks in our production studio here at one point as well. Look, it's a real thing. I'm sure there's people in the chat, perhaps, you know, people from overseas may not have experienced that, but that's why we're, you know...
You're gonna scare off people from visiting Australia now. We need to make them come to Australia.
Yeah, the kangaroos are very friendly.
This
is us being mean to kangaroos, not the other way around.
Everyone's already scared of the spiders and the snakes, and now you're making them scared of the kangaroos as well. But Order's not scared of any kangaroos at all. They're going to take out the victory. As you can see, all forwards, a clean sweep. Zhangtao, Numbani, Horizon Lunar Colony, and Dorado. Of course, on Horizon Lunar Colony, the full hole on the first checkpoint. That was a real surprise. As much as we thought Order were going to take this and take it comfortably, I wasn't expecting that.
No, I mean, to first hold on an assault map requires really a mastery of that and an ability to just not give up any quarter whatsoever.
Interestingly enough, they almost got full held themselves on Horizon Lunar Colony. That was a bit of an interesting map. Very fun series as well. Order, though, just too strong in the end. Kanga Esports, what do they take away from this series, though, moving forward for the remainder of this season of Contenders Australia?
Yeah, it's a hard road for them from here, isn't it? That's 3 losses now. I mean, they've gone down to Breakaway already, probably the other team in this group who you thought maybe they could have snagged a win off. So I think it's going to be very tough for them going forward. So, I mean, really, I think they're just playing for experience at this point and trying to, you know, shore themselves up as a team if they really want to continue on that way, or perhaps even individually.
All right, let's have a look at our Macca's play of the game, and I hear it's going to be quite earth-shattering.
I believe it's from none other than Quats here, as we saw our first map on Zhangtao. You see Quats managing to you know, mitigate the damage that Davey was doing. Here we go. It's actually a bubble when we look at slow motion there. So congrats to Lush, but then Quats with the 5. Is that 6-man perhaps? It was just an absolutely huge play. That turnaround, you know, both teams using the ults, but the difference in those ultimates was as pretty much as far apart as you can get.
How great is the slow-mo? Now we give the credit to Lush, because it was the particle barrier that
something
stopped.
You can't really pick up when there's you know, the particle effects flying around that quickly.
No, definitely. I mean, the positioning of Quats was great.
I'm sure there's someone in Twitch chat being like, I saw it.
Team play makers of the game, I think. It was still also a really good Earth Shatter as well.
Of course.
Final thoughts before we head to a break there for Order versus Kanga. Expected win.
Yeah, Order, I think they've really shorn themselves up. They looked quite strong this week. Kanga, unfortunately, I'm not sure if they can make playoffs anymore.
That might be it.
It could be it. Haven't done the maths, but it's not looking fantastic for these guys. They put on a good show during some of these. You know, getting to the 3rd point even on Dorado, we've got to give them props for that. It wasn't a whitewash by any means, but a 4-0 is definitely what Order wanted to walk away with here.
Most definitely. And as we walk away from the series, we will go to a break. On the other side, we will have Freshman Class versus Breakaway Esports. You want to stay tuned for that one, because it could go either way.